All right, let's skip the theme and get right in here. So, Rocky had literally crawled out of bed, made coffee, made 3 eggs and toast, and hopped on the cam, dude. I was going to do leg day when I first got up, and I was like, you know what? I'm still sore from upper body yesterday, so we're going to do it after the stream, because this stream shouldn't take forever. I kind of started the offseason a little bit the other night because I wanted to see who was our qualifying free agents and all that. Morning, K-Dot. Tight spot. Welcome in, boys. So the only qualifying free agent we had was Tyler Naquin, so I just let him go as a free agent. So we skip forward. I did some stuff with our coaches, though. I fired our manager, and our first base, one of these two retired. So anyway, I went through and cleaned out all the negative coaches. So we have a new manager, new first base, new third base, and we're waiting on our farm director. Nope, that's not it. It is coach contracts. Yeah. So I submitted 2 offers, waiting on one of these guys to sign. So we got rid of all of our shit coaches, and that should help us with signing some players. I do not see us being very active for huge name players in free agency. I went through and offered contracts to all the guys that were renewable, and the guys like this guy that 1 year $70K because he's a minor leaguer. So I did all of that all the way down. I think there was one guy on here I didn't offer a contract, but I just cut him this morning. I had 97 players on my roster. You're only allowed 93. And as a result of all of that, my last 2 draft picks were not on the team. These are my last 2 draft picks, and I found them out in free agency. So, I mean, they're not the greatest overall, although they do have, this guy's a C potential, this guy's a B potential. I could use this reliever for sure. So I had to go back out in free agency and offer him contracts, but in order to do that, I had to get us below 93 players on the roster. So I had to cut a bunch of guys. I got rid of Patton, Coker, Pruitt, Aller, Romero, Williams. 2 or 3 of those guys were in their mid-30s, and they were in the 50s overalls. Rocky, on tender contracts, these are going to tell you which guys you have to offer contracts to. Okay? These contract renewables, let me find one. Let me find one further down. All right, so like Hogan Harris. So look in the bottom right. It says, let me move my camera here. Let's get this out of the way. You don't need to see their player art. So in the bottom right-hand corner, the salary guide tells you that their ideal salary is $760K on a 1-year contract when their service time is renewable, right? Bottom left, it tells you what your current payroll is. That's what the before is. And what your payroll will be after you sign him. And what your current surplus is, and what your surplus will be after, and what your max contract offer can be. Okay? So on the guys that are renewable, like this, don't give them $760. Don't give them what they ask for. Because the guys that are renewable, you can give them 80% of last year's salary. So you can actually give them a pay cut. Kind of hurts the morale, but I don't give a fuck. It's a computer game, right? So what you do is you move the salary bar down, and you'll see the interest bar over there on the right drop down to red and yellow. So now I'm going to tick it back up until it just hits the green right there. See that? 580 is a go for this guy. So you're going to save yourself almost $200,000 by doing this and not doing what the ideal salary is. And you'll be surprised at how many of these guys will sign back with you for a pay cut. And there's a point later in the season, like in February before spring training, where it says you have all these renewable contracts that need to be signed by this date, right? So if they haven't signed with what you want to offer, you can just go in there and it'll give you the option to adjust that salary again. And I think it defaults to like 80%. And you can just, you force the issue. They have to take it. They don't have enough service time to bitch and moan. So if you do this with all these renewable guys, you'll save so much money, right? This guy, that's not what I offered. I said 2 years on this guy for $1.3 million. So that's $650K a year. He's 27 years old. He's not a prospect. He's just a minor league filler, and maybe he comes up, we have an injury, right? So if you do this with all these players, you will save so much money, because you're at some point you're going to have to. They're going to have enough years that they can go to arbitration, and they'll submit an offer that they think is fair. You're going to submit an offer you think is fair, and the game's going to pick one or the other. If you want to avoid that, then you'll have to sign them to a longer contract that goes through arbitration. But if they're on this board right here, you have to sign them or you will lose them as a free agent, and that will decimate your minors. Now, if you don't want them, don't offer them a contract. Like there was a 34-year-old, 60-something overall reliever that I wasn't going to use anymore. I cut him. I let him go. I released him. I just want to get him off the board, right? So let me go up here. I did offer him a contract. Look, he's renewable, so I don't have to do anything beyond a 1-year contract. He's got 3 years of arbitration after that. His stats are going up. He had a great year last year. So what I did was offer him $8.5 million over 4 years. So he's going to get a little over $2 million a year. So instead of giving him, 700 something thousand and then hitting arbitration and having him all of a sudden demand $4 million a year, I'm going to give him a little more this year, a little less those years, and we're going to take it out through arbitration so I don't have to overpay this guy. And he'll be so cheap that I can trade him to anybody anytime I want to. Same thing with Rooker. I offered him 3 years at 3.8. SD, I offered him 4 years at 7.8, so he's not even $2 million a year. So he's got 2 renewable and 4 arbitration. So honestly, I should offer him 5 years. Let's do that. He only wants 2 years. We want to give him 5. And now his interest bar is going to jump up. It's going to be higher. Because you're looking at salary guide, $750K for 2 years, and then $3 million a year for 3 to 5 years. So let's get him up to $2 million a year. There we go. He'll take this. So now he's only going to get $2 million a year for 5 years. So 10 mil over 5 years. So he's going to be stupid cheap. What's up, Robbie? How you doing, man? So he's not going to be hard to get rid of at that salary. And I'm hoping at some point to get a stud center fielder so I can move him to second base. Where his arm won't make a difference. So we're going to offer that to Esty, who just missed out on Rookie of the Year. If you didn't see him last year, look at this. 47 doubles, 9 triples, 11 homers, 60 RBIs out of leadoff, 57 steals at 297, 809. I'm doing good, man. Doing great. He had a 5.7 WAR. So anyway, so that's what I did off camera last night because this is kind of tedious and time consuming and stuff, right? Arbitration, these guys are saying I'm worth this much, and you can say no, you're not. Voit, I'm going to let go. I'm not bringing him back. Kirilov, I offered him $16 million over 5 years. He should take that. The rest of these guys, I am not offering arbitration. They can go be a free agent and leave the team and go somewhere else. Okay? So that means I need to replace 2 first basemen. No, 1 first baseman. Because Kirillov's coming back. 1 first baseman, 1 catcher, 1 closer, 4 relievers, and a right fielder. Because the right fielder was Naquin. So I do need to get 8 guys. But right now, I only have 2 empty spots. But once these guys all get cut, all of those spots are going to open up, except for Kirilov. He'll stay with us. So I will be a little active in free agency. Have a short list of guys I want to go after. Because, of course. 40-man, we have to decide who to put on here. Once they hit 23 or 24, depending on when they were signed as a free agent with their first contract, you have to put them on the 40-man, or you can lose them to the Rule 5. Yeah, 40-man, these are the guys that you can call up and down between the minors and the majors with no problem. If they're not on your 40-man, then you got to take somebody off to add somebody on to put them up, right? So these are all protected. The Rule 5 draft means you can't just bury guys in the minors forever. 2 of the best Rule 5 draft picks ever, Roberto Clemente. He was with the Dodgers, and the Pirates snagged him and became a legend. And what's his face? Hold on. My brain is locked up this morning. Let me find this. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, Johan Santana. Dude was a stud. He was a Rule 5 draft pick as well. Raw Gaming, hey, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. So in this case, JJ Bleday is probably going to... We have 5 empty spots. So as you sign these real free agents, they're going to eat up real 40-man roster spots. So I have to decide if Bleday is worth keeping or letting him go to somebody else. He's 26 years old. He's really not in our long-term plans. So I'm more than likely just going to let him go. So all of these guys that are up in the majors, yeah, this guy was a reliever. I don't know why he's moved him up to the major leagues. But most of these are all MLB players, right? We got some guys that spent most of their time in the minors down here. I'm not sure why this guy is on the 40-man. He's 28 years old. I'm going to remove him. That'll open up another spot. So now we're down to 34. So now we can sign 6 guys, and it won't make a difference. So I found an 18-year-old, 53 overall A potential starting pitcher. Probably not going to get him because we had so many A and B potential young starters, 18-year-olds that we drafted. Robbie Diaz, he was the guy that we drafted, and the game cut off our team. So I had offered him to get him back. Looking at some other veteran relievers, Jacob Junis, he's 31, a 71C. Dylan Floros, 33, but he's a 79B. Phil Matan, 31, 82B. So I'm trying to help our bullpen a little bit. Blake Trinan is a closer. He's 35 years old, but he's an 80 and a B. I would take him for 1 year as a setup guy. I found another closer who's 18. He's a B, and he's 66. There's a catcher that I looked at in the draft that didn't get signed, so we'll try and get him. He's 18, 59 overall, and a C. And then there's a first baseman who's 19, and he's a 72, but he's got D potential, and I figured we could grab him and stick him in AAA and help those the guys down in the minors, give them, somebody else that can help them win. If he plays well, he might progress up to a C. But, if he gets on base and our other guys were interested in drive him in, then that's good. Or if he drives in our guys, so he could help those guys progress up. Plus, we really don't have any first base prospects. So even though he's a D, He's a good minor league bat. Now, free agency, Shohei's out here. If we signed him, since a qualifying offer was made to him, we would lose our first-round pick. Same thing with Urias. If it just says qualified, but doesn't say qualifying offer made, that means you can sign those guys, and you won't have to give up a draft pick. All right. So, Urias, Shohei, Kershaw. Looks like those are the only ones that were offered the qualifying contract, which is like 19 or 20 million for 1 year. They didn't accept it though. So, but Shohei, you're going to have to pay him 35 million a year, which is what the Angels offered. Hey, look, Matt Chapman, he's out there. Look, Aaron Nola's out there, and Phillies are lowballing him. We're not going to go re-sign Nola. we already did that with the Rockies. We're not going to do it with Oakland. That's not the type of player we're looking for. I might make an offer for Rhys Hoskins just to give us another bat in the middle of the order besides Rooker. And that would let Kirilloff play some outfield. He can play some left field and right field. So consistent 30 home runs roughly. So we might place an offer in him because they're not offering him a ton. They're not even offering him $8 million a year, right? Barely, a little over $8 million. We have $128 million in surplus right now, so we can sign guys. I'm just not going to, but Hoskins would give us a little more depth to the middle of our batting order. Hunter Renfroe's out there. I'm not going to go after him. Anybody that we signed for the Rockies, I'm not going to go after for the A's. So, don't need the shortstop. We're fine for now. We got one coming up. I'm not signing any of these starting pitchers. We're not going after. I already said last stream. Let me exit out of here and go show you. We're going to go with this group. We've got these two young guys that are already 75 overalls. These two guys are going to be in the minors for a good chunk of the year, although Padilla might work his way into the rotation at some point this year. But Fujinami's 29, Miller's 25, 18, 23, Blackburn's 30. He's not going to be here long term. He's got one more year left. We may let him walk after this year. Muller didn't pitch too badly, and he's controllable for the next 5 years, so we'll keep him around and hope he gets better. This is another guy that I found sitting out there among the free agents last year. There's another one. 22-year-old C. David Cho's the guy we picked up the first year. We got so many young pitchers now. Look at all these young pitchers. So these, Waldichuk is okay. I mean, I might stick him in the bullpen at some point. Cushing's going to go away. Ginn's still 24 years old. Harris will go away. Look at the youth. And then we get down to the guys we drafted last year. So we got a lot of young pitching, and I don't want to clog it up with a bunch of 30-year-old pitchers. So this will keep us from getting really good really fast. But I do want to have some relief pitching so that if we're winning a game, we can possibly hang on and win the game. Steckenrider and Reyes are going away. We just extended Loizaga. He's got 2 years. Acevedo's renewable contract. Castro's got 2 more years. He's got 2 years. So we're not locked into these guys really long term. Jackson, I would do want to lock him in for a few years. We do have this guy in the minors who looks pretty good. So I think Wick is going to go away as a free agent. I traded a backup catcher just to get him to have a third closer in the system. If we sign this young catcher, then I will more than likely, how much is he making? Yeah, Carlos Perez is going to go away, so we're probably going to replace him with a 50-something overall, 18, 19-year-old catcher. So if we have any injuries between these guys, then we're just going to bring up Soderstrom or Susak, one of these two guys. But you can see we don't have a whole lot. There's nobody young that's any good. So now you know why I want to go get that 19-year-old first baseman and why I'm thinking about Hoskins, because Kirilov can play left, center, right. Probably more a left fielder. Well, he does have the arm for right field. Castro and Diaz are going to hold down second base until this guy is ready to go. Peterson and Freeman are going to be at third. Peterson's 33, so he'll be gone soon. He's our long-term third baseman, and he's probably a trade piece. Diaz is just a utility guy. He and Wade are going to hold down shortstop. Hernaiz is our young shortstop of the future. He's great defensively, great speed. Just got to get his bat going. Rooker, great power. Can't field for shit. He can also play first base. So, but we don't have a whole lot. I found this guy out on a waiver pile last year, so that's why he's regressing, because he was sitting in waivers. So if we can find a good outfielder in a draft, that would be awesome. Ruiz is at center, but we got these two guys behind him that if they can progress up, then I'll move Ruiz to either left field or second base. Got a lot of youth at center field. Laureano's coming back because he's decent, especially defender, and he hits lefties. Clark Elliott's doing really well, so we've got some youth here that hopefully somebody can step up. But as you can see, we really need left field, right field prospects that are good. But I'm not going to go out and sign a whole bunch of veterans. I mean, there are guys out here I could go after. Hoskins, obviously. C.J. Cron is a free agent out here. This is that first baseman. Nobody at second worth of crap. Matt Chapman, we could take him, but I'm not going to. Rosario, we had gone for him for once already, but we've got a young guy. I don't need to block him. There's nobody in left field worth a shit. Bellinger would be interesting, but Mr. Hurricane's already played with him, and I've simmed, and his average is garbage, and we don't need Bader. Thought about Kiermaier because he can hit and he has great defense, but he's 33, so that really doesn't help a whole lot. Renfroe, we've already played with him. Teoscar Hernandez has got great power, but it's against lefties. We need power against righties. God. Hey, Rocky, I ordered some more protein powder. $71 fucking dollars. That was just telling me they delivered it, so it's out on the front porch. So, Teoscar's got great power against lefties, but he was also in Hurricanes. There's really nothing out here in the outfield. So, about the only thing I'm considering doing is signing Rhys Hoskins, because he can hit lefties and righties, and he can play some first base. And that'll let Kirilov play some outfield. Give us some more flexibility. So, in addition to, Junis and Floro and Matan, those relief pitchers, because we gotta get some arms in the pen. So, anyway, that's where we stand. That's all the shit that I did. And so let's go in here on free agency and start see if we can steal some of these guys. Floro, he's a 79. He'll regress a little bit. I don't mind giving him a 2-year contract. See what he does. See what he says for $3 million a year. Yeah, he'll consider it. Okay. What's Matan? Yeah, we're not going 5 years. Let's go 2 years. What does he want? $6 million a year for 2 years. We can afford it. That barely gets us in front. No, we're in second. All right. I don't want to give this guy a long contract. Yeah, we're only going 2 years. So now I don't want to pay this guy. Kimbrel's 4.3 for 1. His only problem is his walks, right? He's regressing because he's 35. There's Junis. Let's make him an offer. No one's made him an offer, right? He's 31. We'll go 2 years, 3.3. Yeah, it jumps us way ahead. We didn't even have to go that much. 2 years, 3.1. There we go. Ronaldo Lopez. Where's the other guy? Joe Jimenez, Braves. No. I guess we'll just do that. Floro and Junis. Trinan has no offers. His shit is really good despite his age, so we're just going to offer him a 1-year deal. For 5. And where's that catcher? 1859. This guy was in the draft and somehow he's sitting out here. This guy, Dave McAtee. So he's terrible defensively, but he can hit. So we can put him down at like AA, or his defense doesn't matter to us. And if he progresses, great. And we'll just put all of his training on defense and power. And he's only going to cost us $60K a year. And the first baseman, Chin, regardless of what I do with Rhys Hoskins, we're going to offer this guy. And now we're going to decide Hoskins, 34.7. So what's 38? 9.5. Let's go 3 years. $10 million. All right, it jumps us way up. Can we get by with less than $10 million? What's his breaking point? Right there. So $9 million. He wants a little over $9 million a year. Make it 9.2. All right, so we're in front. We'll have to monitor that. And that would be the big guy that we go after. I'm not interested in signing a bunch of guys. So, but it does give us a little more protection in the lineup. All right, trade talks. Nobody is signed. Look, if you come in here, look on this side. See where it says Yency Almonte, his salary is 2.5 mil. Anybody that has a salary right now, you can trade. All these guys that have no salary, you cannot trade those guys. So if you're trying to find somebody over here to trade for, you can't trade for anybody without a salary until they sign. So Red Sox have a bunch of guys. Blue Jays don't. Guardians don't. So you can't trade for any of those guys till they get re-signed by their original team. So, all right, so let's get in here and let's sim and see what happens. All right, we got the catcher. We got McAtee. We re-signed 3 of our own players. Actually, re-signed a shit ton of players. Look at that. All those guys re-signed. They all re-signed. All those renewable guys and all the other guys that aren't renewable, the ones you can just throw 50, 60, 70K on. Oh, look. It didn't show us. We got Jacob Junis and Dylan Floro. So now we have 2 good left-handed relievers. All right. Let's go look at this. And we have 3 more guys on our, we got to clear. All right, so if that's the case, we're just going to release Steckenrider. And we're going to release Reyes. We got to release at least 1 more guy. get rid of Wick. Gets us to there. And now I'm going to release... Should I get rid of the 33-year-old? Yeah, I think I should. What's he making? He's not making anything. All right, Perez is gone. He got replaced by McAtee. So now we have one less guy in the max. So I'm going to remove this offer for Trinan. And we're actually going to go to the 66. This Everett Evers. He's 18 years old. He's a B, 66. We're going to try and sign him to be our AA closer. And if we sign Tommy Chin, we're done with all those lower free agents. So if we get these three guys, we're done with the offseason. We'll just move on, make sure all our guys get signed and all that stuff, and it'll be a quick offseason. Yeah. All right, so we have to clear 2 more spots. So how do I clear 2 more spots? Right. He's going away. No, hold on. All these guys are gone. So we got rid of these 4 guys right here. So Pruitt, Guerra, and Voigt need to go away. All right, we're down to 90, so now we can sign three players. And so if we sign all 3 of these guys, we're done with free agency. So that'll be quick. And we have 7 more guys we can put on the 40-man. So we'll deal with that in a minute. Kyle Snyder, accept the Dodgers. No, we have another guy sitting out there as farm director. Adam Aller got signed. That's fine. So Damian Dunn is the guy we're looking for there. And it looks like we signed that closer. Did he sign with us? Yep. Everett Evers signed. So that gives us our young closer. We're at 91, so we have 2 more guys we can sign. So Hoskins and Chin. So we got these 2 first basemen, and we'll be done, guys. This will be a quick offseason. So let's get in here. We might be able to actually play some spring training games. Resign Langoliers, resign Rooker. Those guys took the contracts we offered. Resign, yeah, we just signed like 7 guys. Hoskins is still sitting there. Chin is still sitting there. Here, let me bump that up a little bit, and he should sign right now. The Cardinals signed Shohei Ohtani to a 9-year, $315 million deal. So he's completely out of the league. Out of the division, out of the league. I would love for the Cardinals to sign Shohei. Kitchens Gaming, how you doing? Welcome in. Doing great, man. We're trying to get this offseason wrapped up, and looks like we're going to get it wrapped up pretty good. Look, Esty Ruiz, our center fielder that almost won the Rookie of the Year, signed that 5-year, $10 million contract. So now we've got our best young player locked down for $2 million a year for 5 years. So that'll get him through arbitration. So let's check free agency again. Chin and Hoskins. I can go up a little bit on Hoskins if I need to. We just got to be patient. Kirilov, I offered him arbitration, so we don't have to worry about him. He'll be back one way or the other. And we got 7 40-man spots. I'm going to wait until it gets to the deadline for the 40-man for us to do that. Because if we sign Hoskins, he'll be one of those guys on the 40-man. And I'm trying to, man. I'm trying. We were losing on purpose because I want to get a higher draft pick in the year 2. And I don't want to do like the Rockies where I won the World Series in year 2. We have a lot of young pitching that needs to develop behind it, so we're trying to make them a little bit more competitive while those guys develop. All right. So now I need to go find somebody for the farm director because he signed to be a manager. All right, let's try Alex Cora. All right. Yep, I do NCAA football. I haven't played NCAA since March. Every year in the spring, I have boys volleyball, and I have boys high school volleyball in the spring and girls in the fall. And during those seasons, I don't stream a whole lot because I have to leave like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to go do 2 matches each time. So we kind of just step away from the camera for a little bit. But yeah, I'm in my off season now for the summer. I don't have any matches at all. And so we get to come in here almost damn every day, sometimes twice in one day. We'll get back to NCAA at some point. If you like watching user versus user, go check out the NWO. I used to be in that league. It's a user league. We just had a great game last night between Coach Brousseau's Wisconsin Badgers and Jimmy Two Blunt's Oregon Ducks. Great game. I was on the call for that one with 49er George, so I would check them out. They're winding down. They're at the end of the season. They're gonna have all their bowl games coming up. But if you like NCAA, if the A's win in year 2, the whole team's getting tested for PEDs, and I'm being investigated for sign stealing. Yeah, that's why I said we're not going to go sign Nola and Renfro and Crone and Chapman. I could sign a bunch of guys. We have 120 something million to spend. So we weren't going to go do that because it would be too easy. So I kind of want to let some of these young players develop. That's why I traded for some younger players to let them play. Let this take a little bit of time. And like I said last stream, once we're done with the A's, once we get to, depending on how long it takes, whether it's just win 1 World Series or maybe win 2, we'll move on. And I've already got a save set up where I sim the first season with Tampa Bay. And then we're going to move them to Nashville. Might want to rephrase that again. I don't understand your question. What we do is play roughly 3 games on stream, each stream. Last season, I was just trying to get through the season so we could get the draft and get to the off season and try and improve the team. So starting this next season, I'm going to go back to what we did with Colorado, and every stream is going to be 1 month. So the next stream we do will be April, and then we'll do May, and then June, and progress that way. And that way we'll have more games where I'm actually playing, and it'll go a little bit slower. I won't be in such a hurry to get to the first draft. So this one won't take us very long because we don't have a whole lot of stuff to do. I'm not going to make a bunch of trades. But yeah, usually we play 3 games and sim the rest. So yeah, if you here, let me give you this. If you go there, I archive all of my streams over on YouTube. And like I like to tell people on YouTube all the time, put it on 2 times speed. So double the speed of the video playback. I talk slow enough that you can still follow it. I won't sound like a chipmunk. And it'll take you half the time to watch because there are some 5 and 6 hour streams on there. But you can watch the entire Rockies, or you can watch all of my NCAA over there as well. So we'll get back to NCAA at some point. We just finished our first season with Texas Tech, so we'll bring that. I think we won the Natty again. So I have barely touched that game since March 21st, so I'll have to practice before I play that. Who's left? We got a bunch of guys still left that have to be signed. Not a big deal. Looks like Kirilloff signed. Yep, 5 years, 16 mil. So that's good. Now we don't have to worry about arbitration. We have no arbitration guys. These guys just need to be re-signed. And Hoskins and Chin are still sitting there. So let's see what happens. All right, got to set our 40-man now. Okay, so unless we have Hoskins or Chin, we did get Chin. All right, so that gives us first baseman. He's only 19. I don't have to put him on the 40-man yet. So this shows us we have 8 pitchers, 8 starters, 8 relievers, 1 closer, 2 catchers, 3 first base, 2 second base, 3 shortstop, 3 second base. Only 4 outfielders are on a 40-man. So I'm going to add some of these outfielders. It's going to cost us more. They're going to get paid more. But Clark Elliott's already at AAA, and he's getting closer. So I'm going to go ahead and put him on so that if we get injuries, we can call him up next year. Butler's already on there as well. We don't have to deal with any of these 3 guys here. Denzel Clark I'll probably trade away if I have to later. Blade. Is he signed? He is signed. All right, so I'll go ahead and put him on the 40-man. And what does that put us at? 35. We could put 5 more guys, but I don't see anybody that's worth. Look at that list. They're all C potentials, D potentials in the 50s. So we could possibly go snag somebody off of somebody else's roster that they're not protecting. So I think we're done with that. Let me save this. We haven't saved in a little bit. So, all right. So, final day to offer arbitration. That doesn't bother me because we've already got everybody signed. And where's the Rule 5 draft? That's the contract. So it's right here. All right. So, since we signed Chin, that leaves Hoskins as the only guy left. And if we signed him, he would automatically go on the 40-man. So that leaves 4 open spots, and we can deal with that after the Rule 5 draft. So. All right. Yeah, we don't have anybody. Alex Cora is going to be our farm director, so that's good. All right, now there's going to be more free agents out here because guys were not offered arbitration. So let's go see who's out here. Nobody there. Matan getting a lot of love. Caleb Teelbar. He's 37 years old. Hader's still out here. Took my offer away from Trinan. He's a hitting catcher at Canfield. Hoskins is still sitting there. CJ Crone has no offers. I'm going to tell you right now, If we don't get Hoskins, I'm going to go after Crone because he can actually play outfield too. What's the age difference? He's 31. He's 34. So if it was Crone, we would sign him to maybe a 2-year deal. But I'd rather not. I'd rather go with somebody completely different, right? Chapman's sitting out there. These guys with no offers. Jorge Mateo. Joey Gallo's out there. J.D. Peterson. Jock Peterson. J.D. Martinez. Martinez wouldn't be too bad for a DH, but we already have Rooker, so that doesn't help us. No offers on Bellinger. Wow. Look at these guys with no offers. See, I could go sign a bunch of guys, but I'm not going to. I just want to sign one big guy. And if we sign Hoskins, that would keep us from signing Vlad Guerrero because everybody who does an A's franchise signs Vlad Guerrero as a free agent. Got a bunch of minor leaguers re-signed. All right. Anybody else? A bunch of minor leaguers signed. So we're only down to these 4 guys to get re-signed. No arbitration. And still have a pending offer for Rhys Hoskins. So all must be tendered. So if you go to tender and see, we've offered all of these guys. So all you have to do is have an offer in. They don't have to sign by then. They just all have to have an offer. So they're all offered. Don't have to worry about it. No arbitration. Still have the offer on Hoskins. So the Cardinals get Johan Duran from the Twins for Miles Mikolas and Jordan Walker. We would never trade Jordan Walker for a fucking closer. That would never happen. That would never happen. Mariners signed Matt Chapman. And still, now Detroit and Cincinnati hop in. We still have the best offer on Hoskins. And CJ Cron still has no offers. So we're okay there. More of our minor leaguers. Did that say Jackson? No. Yeah, he's still thinking about it. Okay. Once we get into this week here, it'll do the draft lottery, so you'll get to watch that. I think it's the top 5 or 6 teams that all have the same odds at getting the number 1 pick. But I just did a Tigers franchise where the number 1 team dropped 5 spots. And the Marlins and the Orioles both moved up 9 spots. They both had 1% chance, and they moved up to 1 and 2. So it does happen. All right, the Twins passed us up for Hoskins. So everybody's offering him 4 years. I don't want to offer him 4 years. So we're going to give him over $10 million a year. I want him over Crone because he's younger. And that's our fallback right there. All right, off to the winter meetings. Here we go. Here's the lottery. So watch how this goes. So on the left, the star shows where we're at right now. We're in the 6th position. So this lottery is for the first round. So beyond the first round, and not counting those extra short, like supplemental picks and competitive balance rounds and all that stuff, those real short rounds, all the 6 full rounds of the draft. This will be the order for all of the, from second on to through the 6th. This is the order. So we'll always pick in the 6th spot after the first round is over, right? But we could move all the way up in the first round. So that's why I said the Marlins and the White Sox down there at 10 and 11, that's where the Marlins and the Orioles were, and they both moved up to 1 and 2. So the Nationals moved down 5, and everybody else moved down 2. So anyway, so only the teams on the left have a shot to get the first pick. So, all right, we're going to hit the button to simulate, and we're going to find out where we're picking. Hopefully we don't drop. I don't have to have the number 1 pick overall, but I don't want to drop to 7, 8, 9. I would love to move up into the top 5, but we'll see. Here we go. Give us luck. Give us luck. Come on. Big bucks, no whammies. Now we dropped 1 spot. And the Pirates go up from, they went up 4 spots. They went from 5 to 1. And the Red Sox went from 8 to 3. Yeah, we only dropped 1 in the first round. But that really sucks to drop us. Diamondbacks stay. I mean, like I said, I would love to have been up in the top 5. We didn't suck bad enough, right? We just didn't lose enough games. But even if we had, look at the Royals and Reds. I dropped 3 spots. So, whatever. All those 90 lost teams are still in the top 10. So we picked 7. So hopefully there's a hitter there, because I really don't need to take any more pitching. I really don't. I wish you could trade picks too. So what I'll probably do is we'll still scout pitching. I might scout relief pitchers more than starting pitchers. So we can get some good young relievers in the system. And because we just got like 5 or 6 starting pitchers over the last preseason, signing all the unsigned free agents and then the draft. So we don't really need any more really young starting pitchers this year, maybe the following year. Kind of space them out a little bit. But we need to find some hitters. So I will be scouting more hitters than pitchers. So what I might do is yeah, we can't do the scouts yet. I might see if we can find one that can scout hitters to go along with our number 1 scout. I'll show you that when we get there. But we need to find some hitting. So we're going to spend a lot of time scouring through hitters. It is what it is. And see if we can get Hoskins here. All right, this is a Rule 5 draft. Blake Snell to the Blue Jays. Still haven't signed. So, all right. Off to the draft. So, since we have several open spots, it's going to stop on us every time. So, this is us being able to pick somebody off another team's roster that's not on their 40-man. If you do pick somebody in this draft, they have to be on your Major League roster the entire season, or you have to give them back to the team you took them from. Did they? No, that was Junis. Okay. All right, so who's available? Don't want any of these starting pitchers. Garrett Clevenger, 29-year-old. Terrible walks and home runs per 9. Terrible walks per 9. Everything else is good, but his walks are horrible. Bickford. Tyler Matzik. We already have 2 lefties. He's not bad, but I don't want to carry him the whole year. Nick Gordon, we don't need him. No point in carrying him. I mean, he wouldn't be bad to have, but we're not going to. Nobody there. Nobody there. Mike Antico, he's a Cardinal guy. He's all speed. Luis Gonzalez, yeah, I know he's a B. He's got no pop at all. Matthew Barefoot. Pepio, we don't need. Yeah, I don't see anybody worth taking, so we're just not going to participate. All right, that's that. Quick and easy. So we still have 5. Yeah, 5 40-man spots. One of them would be there. So we have 4 guys we can add to the 40-man roster. And I'm not going to do it right now at the moment. So still number 1 there. Treinen went to the Red Sox. Matone went to the Padres. Still haven't signed. Still have the number 1 bid. Three open spots. Hey, we signed Rhys Hoskins. I wish it would pop up and tell us. It does the other big ones. It didn't tell us. So we got Rhys Hoskins. 3 years, $31.8 million. There we go. Best player on the team. That's going to go on the thumbnail right there. Rhys playing first base for Oakland. So we'll probably get in and play, do a player lock with him in one spring training game so I can get a bigger picture of him. So Dylan Floro. Who else? Jacob Junis. Those were our big signings. All right. Hader's still out there. Aaron Nola's finally getting a little bit of love. Kershaw, looks like he's Dodgers, Braves, and Rangers are battling there. Flaherty, nobody's after Mateo. He's 28 years old, but we don't need him. Nobody's after Grichuk. Finally, the market goes to Crone because Hoskins went. And Grichuk wouldn't be too bad to have. But 96 clutch, man. He's DHing. We really could use an outfielder. What do you guys think? Think I should go for Grichuk? Put him in left field. He's 32 years old, so it'd be like a 2-year deal. Doesn't do great against righties, but Kirilov could play left field on those days, and Grichuk could kill against lefties. Let's see if we can make him a low ball offer. I'll go 2 years. 2 years. 6.8. That'll be the last one. Hader signs with the Nationals. Who goes to a last place team? Bellinger goes to the Rockies. So the Padres and the A's are the only ones going after Grichuk. So now we had Grichuk with Colorado, but we let him go. We didn't keep him around because we replaced him with Bader. All right, that means we signed him. Kershaw to the Braves. No, we signed Diekman. That's why. Hold on. You're going away. Still have the top offer there. Yeah, we're going to get him. He's just going to take to the end of free agency probably. Oh, come on, baby back. Sign. Everybody's offering him 1-year deal, and we're offering him a 2-year deal. He doesn't want to sign. Did he sign? Yes, he did. All right, we got Grichuk. All right. He doesn't want to sign, so we're going to renew him at $590. So Rocky, this is where his previous salary was $730. we're trying to get him signed to a long-term deal, and he doesn't want to sign, so we're going to make him take a pay cut because he's stringing us out. So he's automatically renewed. So fuck you. Because you didn't want to sign the long-term deal, now you got to take a pay cut. Orioles got TJ Crone. All right, so we have $73 million spent. We still have $88 million in our budget. We could have spent a whole lot more than we did. So, so Hoskins is 10.6 for 3 years. Aledmus, depending on how we're doing. If we're sucking, I'll trade him away because he's going to be a free agent. Grichuk, we signed. He's going to help us for a year or two. Jace Peterson, depending on how we're doing and how Freeman's doing, he might get traded. Laureano's just a backup, part-time. Castro's a backup, part-time. Kirilov is going to play some first base and play some outfield. Probably going to, I'll leave him at first base, but he'll play some left field. He and Grichuk will man left field while Rooker's the DH. Right field's going to be Laureano and probably some Aledmus Diaz. These guys are free agents after 2 years, so they can all be shipped out next year. Fujinami's the same way. Amante. We got a lot of guys that are going to go away after 2 years. This guy's probably going to, if we don't trade him this year, we'll trade him next year. Yeah. SD, he's locked up $2 million a year for 5 years. Castro is a backup player. Rooker, we're only paying him $1.2 million for 39 home runs. But he is 29. He's only a C. So at some point, we're going to trade him away. That's kind of why I wanted Hoskins too. But he's stupid cheap. Wade's going to play some shortstop for us. Muller's in there. I just didn't want to keep renewing him. And all these guys are just guys, right? Mason, got 2 years before we have to deal with his arbitration. Same thing with Freeman. So 2026, we got a lot of arbitration that's going to fuck us, but we got time to see what we want to do with these guys before then. So, and we'll be able to sign them to longer term deals that season. So, and then these are all of our good young pitchers down here. So, all right. Let's look at free agency. All the guys are gone. All right. Now all these guys are signed. So let's look. Who's on the trade block? Anybody worth looking at? Nope. All right, good. So renew is done. All of our free agents are done. Everything is good to go. And it's time to go to spring training. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do a player lock with Hoskins and a player lock with Grichuk so I can take pictures of them in A's uniforms, even though it's spring training. I don't think I can change the uniforms. I think we just have to go with the spring training uniforms. And I can throw those guys on the thumbnail for this episode. I took the other pictures just in case it doesn't work out. I can use those smaller pictures, put them in boxes, and put it across the front. So, all right, everybody's signed. So we're just going to sim the off season. All right. Has us as the 21st ranked team now. So, progress. Almost to the midpoint. We got 4 guys in the 80s now. And Ruiz is knocking on the door. So, This guy was our first round pick. He is going to definitely start in Double-A, and if he dominates, then we'll move him up. Bassman, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. So he'll start in Double-A. If he's just crushing it, we'll move him to Triple-A. Padilla's going to start in Triple-A. I'm going to work on his per nines there. And if we have injuries or guys are just struggling too bad, I might call him up. Blanco is probably going to stay in AAA just because his per nines are so bad. This guy's only 22. Waldichuk's going to be up on the team, but like I said, he may end up in the bullpen at some point. So these guys all say MLB because they're on the 40-man roster. And we put our top 3 guys. Well, Robert wasn't in the draft, but Flores and Fuentes were in the draft. Seem good at this? Yeah, man, I've been playing this game since PS2 days. So I took several years off. And so now I'm back into this. I know all of this contract stuff. It took me a little bit to refresh my brain, but yeah. It's both from being a fan in real life and playing this game a lot. Everybody thinks I'm an NCAA guy, but I was this before NCAA, so you guys just didn't see me do it. All right, so these 2 guys that are in the 50s, we're going to leave them in single A for now. They'll progress a little slower, and we'll push them up later if we need to. Because we might trade off Medina, might trade off Harris, Cushing, and that'll open up spots for some of these guys to come up and be in Double-A and Triple-A. So Floro, Amante, Castro, Loaizaga, Acevedo, Junis. Oh, I thought, man, for some reason I thought Floro and Junis were lefties. They're not. So the only lefty we have is Mole. So Waldichuk's probably going to end up in the bullpen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 7. That's 12. That's 13. That's right. We're good there. Martinez is probably going to go back to the minors. So yeah, if these guys if these guys right here are not doing it, especially these guys, especially Acevedo, we'll ship their ass out and get some younger guys in. What you probably should do when you make a bullpen is take a starting pitcher and put them as your long reliever. And that way, if you have somebody slumping or there's an injury, you can just flip them right into the rotation without using an option on a starting pitcher. And then if you have to, you can bring up a reliever or another starting pitcher from the minors and hit that long relief spot. All right. He's going to go to AAA. And he's going to go to AA. All right. We're going to start with these 2. If something happens, then we'll have to add one of these 2 to the 40-man and call them up. We want to split these 2 guys up because we don't want one sitting on the bench while the other one's starting. So he's going to be starting there. He's going to be starting there. He is not going to AAA. He's going to be an A ball. And he's going to be in AAA. Starter backup, starter backup. Yeah, he's much better overall than McAtee. So we got these 2 guys. Kirilov's going to play some outfield. Chin's going to be at AAA. One of those 2 is going to triple and one's going to double to start and play every day. Got those guys there. He's going to be in AAA. Got the 2 young guys at AA. These guys here. This guy is probably going to get released at some point. He'll be... I'm going to stick him back in AA. And let Smith start in triple, and he'll start in double. And we'll put Brett Harris at AAA as a backup. He's older. Got those 2 guys. Now he's at triple, double, single. He's going to go down to AAA. We got 2 AA, 2 single A. These guys are both up. Folt's going to go to Double-A, so he can start every day. He'll start every day. These guys are backups. Denzel's going to go to Triple-A to be a backup. All right. These two are going to be in Triple-A, and he's going to be in Double-A. So that's what's going to happen at the end. I'll probably fix all that off camera because it's so fucking boring. So, all right. Now we're able to do contract extensions. So let's see if we can get this extension done with him. 3 years. $2 million. He wants more money. All right, he offered and got it. $2.2 million. These older guys, we're going to let it go and just see what happens because they're signed. I don't need to extend them, but I wanted to get that closer signed, and so that's done. And these are all the guys that are available. You should come down here and look for any of these young players that are just floating around. See if there's any good potential guys sitting out here. Bunch of C potential guys. All right, so to the right there, it tells you who the projected free agents are. So Altuve, Corbin Burns, Alonso, Juan Soto, Max Fried. Be very tempted to go after Soto, but I'm not going to be overly aggressive again. We're just going to kind of wait and let these younger guys develop and see what we have. And then year 3 would be the season that we really can. So next off season, Soto would be on the radar, but I don't know if we'll go get him or not. I mean, we have the money, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so all of that is done. We're in there. Let me save right now. All right, so we're through the off season. I don't know why I clicked Stadium. I was going to Top Prospects. If you haven't seen it, that's our custom ballpark right there. Top Prospects. Painter, Chiriot, Lawler, Mayer. They signed that 53-year-old A potential 18-year-old pitcher. That's fine. And they got Kyle Harrison from the Giants. Wow. So David Cho, 22. Mike Roberts, like 19. Soderstrom's down the list. He needs to pick it up. This was our first round pick from last summer. So he's already at number 33. He's a 75 overall at 18. It's a second baseman. It's an outfielder I snagged. And that's one of the pitchers that we took. So we got a lot of guys in the top 100. All right, scouts. So over here, you want efficiency. So that's 98 efficiency, and he's 98 on his position players. Did I? Okay, I'll have to go look. So this is our number 1 scout for doing position players. Somewhere along the line, I lost a scout here. So why the hell did I lose a scout? So that's 108. This guy. All right, so this guy's 98 efficiency and 98 pitchers. So we have 2 guys. Efficiency tells you how quickly they scout the player. And the higher the number is on position players or pitchers tells you how accurate they are. Okay? And discovery is used to find new prospects, which is what we did last year when we found all those international pitchers. So when I scout position players, I want him. When I scout pitchers, I want him. And this guy has 93 discovery and he has 86 position. So I might not replace him, but if we find somebody that has a high 90s discovery, it can be in the very low 90s. All right, I'm just looking at Discovery right now. Here's a 98. So we're going to add Richard Vasquez for Johnny Christian. What the fuck just happened? It took the wrong one. Hold on. All right. So 98 efficiency position, 98 efficiency pitchers, and 93. I thought I had enough. Hold on. That's 92.9. This guy. Richard Vasquez, Johnny Christian. Good. All right. They did it right. So now this guy's going to discover a whole bunch of really good players if they can find them. And this guy can scout position. This guy can scout pitchers. When I'm done doing discovery, I'll come back over here and see if I can find somebody that has probably position players like this guy, but I want higher efficiency than that. So maybe Teddy Coyle. Yeah, Teddy Coyle would be the guy. So we can, when we're done finding guys, we can come back, fire that guy, come back, get Teddy Coyle. He's got 83 efficiency and 84 position, so he won't be quite as good as Val Berman, but he'll help us out find some more position players, because we're not going to go after a bunch of starting pitchers. We might scout a whole bunch of relievers, but I don't need a ton of starting pitching. We have so many young pitchers. I need them to just develop, right? Now, the one thing you can go and trade those guys off and get better veteran players, right? So it's never a bad thing to have a bunch of young, high potential pitchers in your organization, because you can trade them away. Where was that guy you said? So we got Cho Fuentes. I must have missed him. He was our second round pick. Callahan was a guy I picked off the waiver wire. Got a little more pop, can't field, got great speed. This guy's per nines need to come up. This guy's per nines need to come up. You can see they all their per nines need to come up. Even the number one pitcher here still has per nines that need to come up. So, all right, let's save this so we lock in those scouts, and then we'll do 2 player lock games in spring training so I can get pictures of Hoskins and Grichuk. Player lock. Why is Langoliers at first base? Fucking ridiculous. We'll just kind of go with that. All right. All right, here we go. Just missed it. Just missed it. Alright, gotta wait for the play to end so I can do the replay. I don't want him looking up. Let's wait and see. Look at that. Center PCI, and it was only good contact. Hit that ball good. Hit that ball good.
Here we go now. Come on. Nope. That's inside.
Hey, get you a good one up there, huh?
Doing no.
Here we go.
Damn. Just missing with this guy. That's 3 balls that I centered up and just didn't get perfect.
Now Three. He's out.
What's up, franchise? Hey. We signed a couple of guys, man. How you doing? I decided to get on stupid early. We were on like 9 o'clock. There you go. Signed Rhys Hoskins to a 3-year, 10.6 per. Loves playing at home. Get that power bat. Let's. We also signed Grichuk to give us another bat in the outfield, especially against lefties. Rooker's going to DH full time. We signed Dylan Floro and Jacob Junis for the bullpen. So Hoskins is going to be first. Kirilov's going to be first base, left field. And not a whole lot else. Yeah, we signed Grichuk. He's going to play left field more than center field. But he's going to help us with lefties. So right now, all I'm doing is doing player lock so I can get better close-ups on these guys. And, of course, Grichuk's not in there. Simnat. I need a lefty. Somebody give me a lefty. Why do I have 3 days off in the middle of spring training? Bubik, is he lefty? Yes. All right. So let's get Grichuk. Play lock with him. Yeah, we FG, we stayed away from Nola, we stayed away from Renfro, we stayed away from Crone. All those guys were out there. We could have gotten Aaron Nola stupid cheap. And I'm just like, no, I'm not signing a single starting pitcher. We have so many young guys. Let's just go with what we have right now and see if they can develop, and then we know we have the other high development guys behind them. So oh, and we lost a spot. We dropped from 6 to 7 in the lottery.
Nope, that's inside.
Attaboy. Come on, big guy. One time. Here you go.
Just missed. That was roped. Still going to get caught. Watch. That's perfect. Off the wall. Wow. Yeah, we need to. Jordan Diaz. I was going to, why did we get all these runs? Hey, Mason Miller pitched decent. Oh. Also, here. A's, injuries, free agency. All right, so we signed Grichuk. We signed Hoskins. We signed a 19-year-old D potential first baseman in Tommy Chin. He's like 72 overall, but he's a minor league guy. Jackson, we just signed to a contract extension. He didn't want to sign this extension in the offseason, so we renewed him for less money than he was making because he pissed me off. And then he decided to take the extension after the season's over. Kirilov, we'd already extended 3.2 going forward. It's not stupid expensive. Rooker, got him on a 3-year deal at 1.3 per. And you can see he hit 39 home runs last year. Ruiz, got him 5 years at $2 million per. So he's not over the top. So we're at 73 million. We have 88 million in the budget available. And next year we're at 58 million before we re-sign some guys. So we have plenty of room. I'm not going crazy signing a bunch of guys. So we'll just see how it works out. Anyway, I'm going to send this to regular season, and we're going to be done, guys. It's going to be short and sweet. Hour and a half. I'm not interested in playing spring training games. So we're just going to get into the regular season, and we're gonna call it a day. I need to work out, and they'll let me work out before it gets stupid hot. And we got the off season out of the way. All right, so let's make sure we set this up right because they fuck this up royally all the time. And we have 3 guys that we can add to the 40-man. All right, that's good there. That's good there. Good, good. We're actually going to put Dermis in AA and Noda in AAA because he's younger and he's got the C. We're going to let Tommy Chin start. Oh, why did they send Diaz down? I don't want Diaz down. And they sent Freeman. God, quit burning my fucking options. All right. Actually, I don't mind Diaz down there because that'll just let me move him to AA. So now I need to move 1 guy to AAA. All right. Major League, Major League, Major League, Major League, Major League, Major League. Good. Triple, 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 double. Triple. He does not belong in AAA. All right, good. He starts in double. He's in triple. He's in triple, triple, triple. Waldichuk, I didn't want to go down. Why do we have 7 starting pitchers? All those double. A lot of our AA starting pitchers are going to pitch in relief. Medina's up. He's going to pitch out of the bullpen. He's out of options. That's why. All right, so these guys are in single because they're D's. They're in single because they're just, I have too many guys. These are all AA. AA, AA, AAA. No, let's put him in double. Put Ginn in triple. He's down to double. He's up to triple. We've got a lot of good young pitchers down in AAA. So, all right. Actually, let me do training real quick. All right, so Hoskins. Hitting is fine. I want to take these guys off auto. I don't want them on auto. Pitch simulated. Good. Grichuk. No. Let's put him on defense. Rooker. Good. Floro. Doesn't need a whole lot, does he? Let's put him on his per 9s. Ruiz. It says discipline, clutch vision. How about we put him on his defense? Almonte. That's fine. Diaz. That's fine. Castro. You're going on per 9s. Loizaga. there. Peterson, that's fine. Fujinami, pitching coach. Mason Miller, no, per nines. Castro, yeah, I'll do hitting coach. Langoliers. Actually, you need to go on to fielding. Casey, pitching coach. Yep, per nines. Actually, he's going to go over here for his break velocity and control. Your velocity is not going to go up, but his control needs to go up. Padilla, same thing. Laureano, good. Tyler Wade, good. Kirilov, fielding drills. That's fine. Huff, we're going to go on vision, discipline, and clutch. Blackburn, you're good. Acevedo, good. Fielding drills for Chauncey, yep. Tommy Chin, no, you're going to go on fielding. Muller, we don't need to worry about his fielding. You're going to go on per nines. Freeman, nope, you're going to go on vision, discipline, and clutch. Junis, pitching coach, yep. Blanco, yep. Hernaiz, yep. Mull, yes. Per nines. Diaz. Actually, we're going to put you on contact. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Logan Davidson's fine. Soderstrom is... We gotta improve that defense. Bolt, that's fine. Cho, pitching coach. Waldachuk. Santos. Yeah, I don't mind getting him a little more power. Lorenz. Yep. Russell. He's a starting pitcher. I don't need about pitching clutch. We need per nines. Elliott, that's good. Susak, that's good. Ginn, per nines. Smith. Cushing. Hogan. Acevedo. Nope, you're going defense. Harris is good. Lawrence Butler. I consider vision, discipline, and clutch to be the per nines of hitters, right? Closing pitcher. Yeah, he's fine. Cano, that's fine. Geloff, definitely contact. Dermis, yep. Medina. Hitting coach. Yep. He's a starter. I don't need the clutch for him. We need per nines. We're good. Good. Yep. I want to take him off auto because I want to be able to control everything they do. I want them to do what I want them to do, not what the game wants them to do. Why are they working on defense? Coach, he actually needs to talk about, he needs to work on hitting contact. There you go. Good. How about we work on all of his defense and not just that? Yeah, pitching. Yeah. All right, all that's done. Save. All right, has us ranked 23rd right now. So, so we get to open with a 7-game homestand against the White Sox. So Mason Miller against Dylan Cease, Fujinami against Kopech, Blackburn against Lambert, Muller against Lynn. So when we come back to stream again, we'll be doing this Mason Miller game. We'll do 3 games, so maybe we'll go to St. Louis, and then we'll come home and play the Pirates. Otherwise, we would do this, come home and play the Reds, and then either go to the Mets or Tampa Bay. So we'll figure it out. But we're definitely playing the White Sox the first game. So next time we stream, I don't know that it'll be tomorrow. Hell, I might get a wild hair up my ass and decide to come back later tonight. I don't know. But we're going to go right now so I can go get my workout in before it gets too hot. And this stream's not 3 hours long. And we did what we needed to do in the off season, and that was got another middle of the order power bat that wasn't stupid expensive. We actually got 2 of them, and we're going to let our pitching go and see how it works. And that's how it's going to be. So anyway, sorry for the short stream, but I knew it wasn't going to take a lot of time. We didn't have too terribly much to do. So I'm going to send you off to Danielle Freak, who's playing MLB The Show right now. He's an actual Oakland A's fan. So you guys have fun over there with Danielle and watch your notifications. Pretty good chance I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time, if it'll be day or night. And like I said, I might get a wild hair up my ass at 9 o'clock tonight and say, let's stream, and we'll be back tonight. So just stay tuned. But you guys go have fun over with Danielle. And FG, I will see you in your stream next time you're on. I'm going to go do leg day. So wish me luck that I can actually walk when we're done. So get this raid started up. Sorry that it's so short, but we didn't have a lot to do, and I don't want to make it a 5.5-hour stream today. So anyway, you guys take care. Appreciate all you guys, and I will see you soon.